Ravi is an Oxford alumnus, and he will infuse us with his thinking and informative lecture.
Of this session, Professor Deep, the chairman of the department, keynote speakers, guest of honor, organizing secretaries, our old and well-established retired professors, colleagues, delegates, dear friends, media persons, Assalamu alaikum, and very good morning to all of you. I think the Dean has proud in this department. This event which you are attending today is the third of the a series of four events back to back. And this is the young dynamic leadership of the chairman that he has organized this nice program. Back to back. When it comes December, one program ended, second started. It was a gap of winter vacation. Otherwise, I think it would have been nothing. So two programs were back to back. This is the third, and the fourth is in line, and that would be in the March. So they are maintaining the legacy of this department, which is known for many personalities, Professor Shafi, Professor Anas, and many more persons, those who kept the light on of this academic glory of this department for 100 years. So with this preamble, the topic of this impact of climate change on food, water, and health, it is not only the need of our, but we as the human beings, we are the custodians of the natural resources which we inherited from our ancestors, and we have to pass it on to the next generation. If you are not fulfilling our duty of a custodian, we will not be forgiven by the next generations. It is our moral responsibility that we should do all the efforts to leave something for next generations. And as Professor Deep has said in his welcome address, that we have to do those corrective mechanisms. Actually, just two words I thought when I was thinking about this conference, that if you just make mantras of two words, one is optimization and one corrective measure. This is the key word today. This summer I was there in England. I saw that they have replaced on many places the water flush by vacuum suction, air suction flushes. They are not using water. It was completely dry. They are just using air suction system. 30 years back, I was in Germany, and in the house where I was staying in Kaiserslautern, they were having their own. Every house has its own recycling plant, and whatever the water was being used for flush, that was being recycled and was being used to maintain the lawns and etc. 30 years back, and that country doesn't have shortage of water. It's a very green country. You all know that Germany doesn't need any. There's no water scarcity there. But as a responsible human being, they are keeping this responsibility fulfilled. In Australia, they have came out with a slogan, and they quoted the Prophet of Islam, Prophet Muhammad, that use the water with caution, even if you are at the bank of the river. They are using it for water storage, or water conservation. So, the developed countries, despite the fact, I have seen in Michigan, that this Michigan lake is huge. I think the geographers know that what is its rank in sweet water reservoir. It's a huge reservoir, but still, they are maintaining, they are keeping this, that we should not waste water. But unfortunately, we have this tendency that we do the research for research. Sorry for it. Our research is to grant a PhD, to publish a paper, to get a promotion. Our researchers are not reaching to the end user. We are not only to be blamed, but it's a whole system which we have to contribute to correct it. That now you just see that in Aligarh University is doing a little contribution in this. That we have a recycling plant, and I just read in the newspaper, local newspaper, that the new ADA authorities and other municipal commissioner, they are planning to purchase these used water for the gardens and lawns of the Aligarh city. So this kind of services we can do to preserve the limited resources we have. So far as these two words in this I am a statistician, so I always feel when think in that direction. The two words, the word impact and the change, these are directly relevant to us actually. Geographers or any scientist, they have to collect data. And to see the impact, you will have to see the impact means that what was there before, what is today, the change. This again is study of variation, that is against statistics. So collection of data, study of variations, and optimization. All these three are from our area. But what again the challenge is, which I want to highlight in this August gathering, that the challenge is that we are still tied with old statistical tools which are available to us. We have not tuned us, the application people, they have not tuned themselves to the latest technologies and the computer algorithms which are available for researches of these variations, for optimization, for studying the impact. So I welcome you all towards this direction, that collect data, study the variation, and come out with the inferences in terms of optimum usage. And there should be recommendations for implementers, so that really our research should reach the last person of the society. And that would be the service for preserving these limited resources for the next generation. And I hope that this conference will be a very useful component of that whole, this noble exercise which is going on throughout the world, that we are preserving our natural resources which are happening through the climate change. But one thing I remember, that a few years back, 7 or 8 years back, there was a speaker here in this department. He came from America. He was a Bangladeshi origin professor, I hope that you might be remembering. And he delivered a talk on climate change. And for the first time, I heard that there is another aspect of climate change, that climate change is a natural cycle which is happening. Nature is taking its own time. It is a new cycle of 1,000 years, I don't know. And it was very well, supported with data. And he gave a very interesting talk. That was the other aspect of it. And he said that only 98.5% change is due to nature, and 1.5% is human intervention. So all the corrective measures which you can do, that is within that 1.5%. I don't know whether that is still valid or not, but that was an aspect which was presented here in this department, and I was very delighted to listen to this new thought. But anyway, that might be one reason, but we should do what we can do to preserve the limited resources by using optimum utilization, and with the proper statistical modeling of the data of impact and change. Thank you.